本当か？それはいつ？
1週間前です。
Damn, you passed me. What were you thinking? This wasn't supposed to happen. However, the past certainly has changed. Or has it? It seems like it has. But at the same time, the present seems to have changed too.
じゃあもしかしてルカシ、ロト6当てたの？
Unless, okay, like I'm thinking of Rintaro with a kind-heartedness in the sense that he gave the numbers to Lukako so that he would win, so that he would get all the money and, you know, be happy and all that. But there's also the other option where he gave the numbers to Lukako so that Rintaro and the group over here would not get the brunt of any unpredictable chaos that would happen, so Lukako would be the victim. I do not want to think that would be the case. I don't see Rintaro doing that sort of thing. Like, yeah, he could be an asshole over here, but he wouldn't hurt people in that manner.
じゃあオカリンは超能力者だね。岡部、あんたまさか電話レンジで当たり番号を送ったの？
Your question makes no sense.
なぜ問いかけなのだ？お前も見ていたはずだ。
見ていた？何を？
Disconnect. Our stories don't match.
送った。3等の当選番号を。ついさっきだ。お前たちも一緒にいた。全員で話し合ってその方法を選んだ。そして過去は変わった。変わったんだ。
I glanced at the phone with a subtle change. There's no denying it now. That grotesque appliance, the bastard child of microwave and cell phone, actually changed the past. We have the power of a god! Though I still don't know why everyone else forgot about it. Well, it's more so that they forgot the conversation that they had about... Well, no, they were talking about the winning lottery thing. It's just that they like the event where Rintaro would actually do the action, it did not happen yet. Cause again, like I'm asking, if Rintaro of this timeline in the past got the information from his phone, like got sent like that email with the winning numbers, did he not tell anybody about it? Did they not discuss about this?
そんなことよりルカシ、いくら当たったん？70万だな。3等だ。
It's like Rintaro was playing some form of chess right over here, where at some point in like 5 days ago, Rintaro finds out about like these numbers that he got sent, like what the fuck is going on right over here, and then he probably started thinking, oh god, like some future Rintaro is sending me this stuff, should I tell everybody else about it? And then for reasons that I cannot explain yet, he didn't, but instead he sent these numbers to Lukako, and then on this day he would finally talk to everybody, hey, how about we do this winning lottery ticket tactic right over here, and then this would happen with Lukako coming right over here and telling us about the winning numbers. I don't know for what reason, for some reason Rintaro did not tell everybody yet, until today, about this experiment. I answer with conviction. However... Lukako begins fidgeting. Something strange about his behavior.
本当にごめんなさい、京馬さん。せっかくこんなすごいこと教えてもらったのに、僕数字を1個間違えて記入しちゃって。
Oh, he what? I stare at the numbers on the ticket and Lukako's trembling hands.
18が 中級だったら京馬さんのおっしゃる通り3等だったんです。
うわー、惜しい、惜しすぐる。
I'm pretty sure I sent it with a 19. I'll know if I check my phone's send history. I take out my phone and bring up the send history.
なぜだ、ないぞ。
The demon I sent has vanished from my send history. I'm sorry, what? Just like everyone's memories. The demon should be there, but it's not. Almost as if it never existed in the first place. I ignore the worried stares of my lab mems and head outside for some fresh air. I need to calm down and figure this out. The ticket lookout bot turned out to be the 4th place. Okay, this is actually a confusing thing that happened right now. Why did it disappear? Because, okay, if Rintaro sent the numbers to Lukako for them to win, like, the demo should still be there, obviously. And, like, if I'm to think about the whole timeline needs to shape itself back into normality right over here, it wouldn't make sense for it to disappear, because otherwise, if it just disappeared, then it kind of makes you question, where would the Rintaro get those numbers in the first place? I don't know. The price is just 5,000 yen.
そこの岡部倫太郎さ。
Suzuha calls out to me. She's still polishing her bicycle. Tennoji Nae is squatting next to her, watching her work with great interest. 2 questions come to mind. 1. How long has she been polishing that thing? Not for long, that's sure. It just feels that way because of time traveling, I guess. 2. Just how much free time does the Brown Tube Workshop have?
洗脳されたような顔してるよ。大丈夫？
洗脳、俺が。
ここには他に誰もいないじゃん。
はあ、そうだな。
それはどっちに対するそうだな？洗脳されたこと？他に誰もいないこと？
洗脳されたことだ。
されたの？
Suzuha suddenly steps up to me and grabs my face. Then she forces my eyes open with her index finger and thumb.
何をする？
動かないで。
Suzuha peers into my eye with a serious expression. But a second later, she lets go and steps back. Suzuha, I don't know if you're doing this in a comedic fashion and humoring him, or you truly believe that there's some brainwashing going on in this.
大丈夫。洗脳されてない。
なんだと？
洗脳されてる時ってさ、下まぶたの中によくチップが仕込まれてることがあるんだよね。
A chip? Immediately after saying that, Suzuha gasps and covers her mouth. And then she puts her hand on my shoulder and gives me an embarrassed smile.
岡部倫太郎、今のは機密扱いでお願い。
Don't tell me. Is she truly a spy?
そうか。お前も機関に捕らえられていた経験があるのだな。
機関？セルンのことだっけ？
いや、皆まで言うな。お前の苦しみ、俺にはよく理解できる。
No, you don't. You don't understand her. Please, tell us!
そう？
Like, what is this?
機関がひた隠しにする巨大洗脳施設。通称、アポカリプス・オブ・ガリアン。あそこはまさに生きる地獄。二度と思い出したくないのだな。
そう、八方なんとかって名前じゃない気もするけど、 生き地獄だったのは確か。
Okay, give me a second. Faris, those songs still contain words of prophecy before they reach it. Faris must decipher the prophecies to find the location of the Holy Land? Yeah. Mind telling me what's in those songs? Remember, if you refuse, I have ways of making you talk. There's no need to put yourself in such danger. Retreat immediately! No, we must know. The sanctuary has been lost for 300 years. It's pointless to seek it now. What prophecy? Let's send this one, I guess. I don't know if this is going to be important to us or not, but...
やはりお前とは良き仲間になれそうだ。バイト戦士よ。聖戦の日は近いぞ。
Suzuha lifts her hand in an half-hearted gesture of enthusiasm.
バイトのお姉ちゃん、洗脳って何？
Nae asks as she tugs on the hem of Suzuha's clothes.
それにはこの法王院京馬が答えてやろう。
いいです。
え？
Nae hides behind Suzuha. Again, you're a little bit much. Oh,
苗は岡部倫太郎が怖いみたいだね。
シェスター・ブラウンよ。俺にイフを抱くのはいいが、同時に世界を股にかけるマッドサイエンティストへの敬意も払うべきだぞ。
世界を股にかけてるの？
いかにも。俺の天才的な灰色の脳細胞は世界各国の首脳が欲しがるほどのものなのだ。
へえ。
Still clinging to Suzuha's waist, Nae opens her eyes even wider and gasps in admiration.
洗脳ってのは今みたいなことを言うんだよ、苗。え？
何を言う？そこのバイト戦士。俺は真実しか話していないのだから、これは洗脳などではない。
True enough. And this is the true Rintaro. From top to bottom.
おかりんおじさんは嘘ついたの？
Though I wouldn't be surprised if he hit his head at some point in the past. And now he talks like this because...
誰がおじさんか？
子供相手に怒鳴っちゃダメだよ。怯えてるじゃん。
But Mister makes me sound old. Which is freaking awesome. I mean, Jesus, I'm not even old enough to drink yet. What a disgrace. No, there's no point getting angry at... No, there's no point getting angry at a child. I need to show composure as an adult.
あんたって岡部よりよっぽど変態ね。もうさん付けで呼んでやらないからな。
僕は変態じゃないよ。変態紳士だよ。
はあ？
ねえねえ、それよりおかり大丈夫かな？
I can hear voices from the second story window. My god, they can be heard like so well from down here. Maybe we should do something about this. And since we can hear them clearly from here. So Suzuha starts chuckling.
もしかしてずっと聞いていたか？
はあ、ごめん。盗み聞きするつもりはなかったけど、どうしても聞こえちゃうからさ。
タイムマシンのことも？
ああ、聞いちゃった。やるね、この。
She strikes my upper arm in what I assume is a gesture of encouragement. What is way to go you supposed to mean?
口外したりしていないだろうな。もし誰かに喋ったりしてみろ。俺はお前の口を封じなければならなく。
喋ってないよ。私って結構口は固いからさ。
だったらいい。それで一つ聞くが。 たった今2階で放電現象が起きたのを見たか？
放電？昨日みたいなグラグラ揺れるやつ？さっき1回やったよね。店長いないから助かったね。揺れて怖かった。
I ignore the little girl's honest impression.
たった今ほんの1分前ぐらいにもグラグラ揺らしたはずなんだが。
あ、そうなの？でも2回目は見てないの。
That's because it didn't happen in this. Suzuha tilts her head quizzically, then turns back to her bicycle.
私がこの子を磨くのに夢中だったのかもしんないけどさ。苗は見た？
Sister Braun frantically shakes her head.
2回目は見てないんだな。
見てないです。
Disappointment spreads through me. What does this mean? Events I remember happening didn't. The fact that I sent a email. The fact that we argued over what to send. But Krisa herself remembers that I called her celeb Sev during that argument. Right after sending the email, I was hit by a feeling of vertigo. That's probably related somehow. And to top it all off, the email just disappeared.
なんかあったの？
お前はタイムトラベルについて詳しいか？
それってどういう意味かな？
Suzuha seems slightly suspicious. So I explained to her what happened just now. I probably won't understand a word of it, so I don't think it'll be necessary to silence her.
信じらんない。
Suzuha's dumbfounded after hearing my explanation.
そんなの聞いたことないよ。ねえ、本当のこと言ってる？
当たり前だ。俺たちは紛れもなくタイムマシンを開発した。そして過去を変えることができたのだ。我らの偉業を否定することは誰にもできない。そう、誰にもだ。
ああ、もうそういうことじゃなくて。
Suzuha grabs at her own hair in frustration. But then her expression turns thoughtful.
君の言うことが本当なのかどうかわかんないけどさ。
She suddenly lowers her voice.
こういう時はジョン・タイターに聞いてみればいいよ。
ジョン・タイター。
ほら、今さ話題になってるらしいじゃん。過去へ遡ってきたタイムトラベラー。なんか知ってっかもよ。同じタイムトラベラー同士ってことで。
なるほど。確かにお前の言う通りかもしれん。あ、いや、それで間違いない。
The undoing of past events could possibly be explained through the many worlds interpretation that Tyler talked about. And come to think of it, it was Tyler's advice that led me to the IBM 5100. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Like, we've done our experiments, and we'll probably continue to do the experiments and all that. And, well, Daro no doubt will continue to find more documents inside that IBM. So I guess our next mission right now would be to find John Titor and learn some stuff. He should be able to give me a hint this time too. I quickly take out my phone.
俺だ。ジョン・タイターはこの俺を導くために未来からやってきたかもしれん。なあ、そうだ。奴がこの2010年へとやってきたのはまさしくシュタインズゲートの選択だよ。エルプサイコングル。
Oops, I congru.
バイトのお姉ちゃん、あのおじさんは誰と電話で話してるの？
The Mellow Lord Upa!
さあ、誰だろう。未来人と交信してたりして。未来人？
シスター・ブラウン。俺の電話の相手が気になるか？
ません。
Naya shakes her head rapidly. She looks scared. I respond with the wary expression of a mad scientist who has seen everything and lost much.
気になったとしても今後絶対に聞くな。もし知れば俺はお前の口を封じなくてはならなくなる。さすがにお前のような痛い気な少女を手にかけたくはないのだ。
Alright, Rintaro, let's tone it down what do we hear and let's just go. We need to find John Titor.
だから小学生をビビらせちゃダメだっての。
I assume Naya is frightened because of the aura of danger that follows me everywhere. Oh, don't you talk to me about aura. Kids love to throw that word like on a daily basis these days. She's right to be.
バイト戦士、俺は早速タイターに連絡を取ってみるぞ。素晴らしい助言に感謝する。
私役に立った？そんならよか。
Part-time warrior's eyes pop open in mid-sentence.
うわ、やっばー。店長機関、店長機関。
I follow Suzuha's glance to see a moped head this way. Judging by the sheer size of the driver, he must be Mr. Braun.
なえ、もし店長に聞かれたらさ、私はちゃんと店番してたって言ってよ。うん。だから今度自転車に乗せてね。乗せる乗せる。じゃ、頑張って岡部倫太郎。私応援してっからさ。
Suzuha pats me on the shoulder and rushes into the workshop. Nai and I are left in front of the store. The driver stops. I think it's the moped. The moped, and takes off his full face helmet, revealing Mr. Braun.
お父さん、おかえりなさい。
ない。そこのうさんくせえ野郎に何をされた？
Manager leaps from his moped and interposes himself between me and his daughter. His eyes are bloodshot. My spine freezes. What a powerful aura of malice.
てめえ、よくも俺の大事な娘をたぶらかしてくれたな。
Hey,
殺すぞ。
hey, come on.
待ってくれ。俺は何もしていない。
だったらなんでおめえとナイが二人っきりで話してんだ？あ？
二人きりじゃない。今の今まで鈴葉もここにいました。あの女は仕事をサボってそこのチャリを磨いていたんですよ。
Damn. Rintaro, you snitch. Please forgive me, Suzuha. My life is too precious.
ナイ、そうなのか？
バイトのお姉ちゃんに自転車に乗せてもらう約束したの。だからサボってなかったって言わなきゃ。
Sister Braun ends up betraying Suzuha too. The manager breathes a heavy sigh.
サボる方法だけはうまいんだよな、あのバイト。
It's true, I've never seen her actually do work.
というか、この俺を一瞬でも疑ったことについての謝罪はないんですか？
ねえよ、んなもん。
Tch, stubborn old man. He thinks he owns the place just because he owns the place. That's because he owns the place.
いいか、今後もうちの娘をたぶらかそうとしたらただじゃおかねえからな。
そんな自殺行為はしませんよ。
Mr. Braun nods in satisfaction.
ねえ、シュークリーム買ってきたから一緒に食おう。
He parks his moped next to part-time warrior's bicycle, then enters the store hand in hand with his daughter. Cream puffs. You can't get any more out of character than that. Is this what having kids does to a man?
おいこれバイト、サボってたことは分かってんだぞこら。 あとなんで42型がつけっぱなしになってんだ。消しとけって言っただろうが。
ごめんなさ
Me. Leave Suzuha to her fate and return to the lab. I need to get in touch with Titor as quickly as possible. Alright, he might be able to give me the answers I seek. He might even be able to explain the event that I witnessed a few days ago. The instantaneous disappearance of everyone on the streets of Akiba. When I burst into the lab, everyone looks at me with concerned expressions. My, what a big crowd we have in this in our apartment lately. Mayuri starts to speak, presumably to console me, but I put my hand up to stop her.
待て。事情はすべて後で話す。
We are on a... Oh, hold on a second. Oh, never mind. I can't give details. What? Fuck you. Her songs are divine revelations. Prophecies at the end of the road. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. I don't care. As I was saying, we are on a mission today, folks. A new one.
おかりあのね明日バナナ買ってきてあげるね
Indeed. I mean, we do have like 5,000 yen now with us. Mayuri picks up her Upa plush toy off the sofa and hands it to me.
だからね今はその子をむぎゅーっと抱きしめて元気出してね
Yeah, I appreciate it, little one. Looks like she's worried about me. Well, she shouldn't be. It's my job to worry about her. She has work after this, so she leaves. Daru goes with her, probably to see fires. Before he leaves, Lukako apologizes again for messing up the Lolo 6 ticket. He knows about the time machine now. Next time I see him, I'll make him a lab mem to secure his sounds. Oh boy, are we gonna have enough space for like any meeting around here? With all these lab mems? I mean, no doubt Suzuha is also gonna be a lab mem. Can we make Fires as well a lab mem? Probably. We probably will. Moeka leaves with nothing more than a tiny bow. Okay. Alright, well, in less than 30 minutes, Chris and I are the only ones left in the lab. My god.
そこの助手。お前は帰らないのか？
Another mail? Shining finger. I want to hear more about time machines next time, okay? It's a promise. See you. Alright, well, it is indeed a promise.
目障りなら帰るけど
目障りというわけではないが、何か用事でもあるのか？
いいえでもちょっと考えたいことがあって
ホテルに戻って考えればいい。
何追い出したいの
そうか。どうせ友達もいないし、ホテルに帰っても一人ぼっちで寂しいから、この法院京馬に構ってほしいというわけだな。このお子様セレセブめ。
寂しいのはあんたの方だろ。さっきからあんまり元気ないし。なんなら相談に乗るぞ。私はある意味で部外者だから話しやすいんじゃない？年下の女に相談する男の人ってぐにょぐにょだけど、それでもいいんなら聞いてやってもいい。
Why does she have to be such a smartass? She even has a mocking grin on her face.
俺はメールをする用事があるのだ。どうしてもここにいたいのならば邪魔をせず静かにしているのだな。ザ・ゾンビ。
その呼び方が一番カチンとくるわね。
Alright, well, despite her complaint, Krisu makes no move to leave. She sits down on the sofa and starts reading a massive technical book. On closer inspection, I realize it's in English. Maybe my assistant isn't a genius, but just an extreme studier.
コーヒーを飲むか？
もらうわ。
I make some instant coffee for Kurisu. I take a fresh of I take a fresh Dr. P out of the refrigerator for myself and sit down in front of the computer. Alright, let's do what needs to be done. I only hope this doesn't get undone too. My plan is to follow Suzuha's advice. Get in touch with Tider. After all, what I'm experiencing right now could have something to do with the many roads interpretation, which would mean that the Kurisu sitting over there isn't the same Kurisu with whom I discussed the Lotus 6. And it would mean that this lab isn't the lab where we discussed it. How can that be?
何もぞもぞやってんの?
Kurisu glares at me coldly. Damn it, she's looking at me like I'm a perv again. I keep telling her I'm not a perv. I'm Kyoma. I'm turning into a horse. Anyway, why am I the only one who remembers what happened? That's another question I'll ask John Tyler. I don't know if he is a real time traveler, but he did help with the IBM 5100, so I'm inclined to trust him. But what should I write? Should I tell him everything? In any case, worrying about it won't solve anything. Enough stalling. I take out my phone. Alright. Okay. Like I've read another news. I've successfully built a machine that sends emails to the past. When we change the past by sending an email, does that change the Worldline? I noticed some events weren't done. Does that mean the Worldline changed? You said the many worlds interpretation is correct, but I'd like to hear the proof, if you don't mind. Okay. I sigh and chug my soda. Now to wait for his reply. I checked the Ed channel thread just to make sure, but Tyler hasn't posted recently.
ずいぶん深いため息ついてるわね。
Kurisu says without lifting her eyes from her book. Maybe I should tell her about how that email changed the past. And about how she seems to have lost her memories about it. Why am I considering talking to Kurisu? Because I don't think my Yuri or daughter would understand this problem. Kurisu, on the other hand, might be able to form a hypothesis. That's what I hope. Oh, just then my phone rings. Is it Tyler? Tyler's calling me? Nah, it's Daro, it seems. Startled, I look at my phone's display. It's Daro. I click my tongue at disappointment. Don't scare me like that.
クリスティーナ、お前に話しておきたいことがある。
その前に電話出なくていいわけ？
ダルからだ。どうせくだらない内容だろう。
Before he left, Daro said he was going to make Queen. He had a silly grin on his face. There's no way he'd suddenly call me for something serious. Well, now that you're saying it like that, then there's definitely something serious going on.
あんたって本当に独善的だな。
Oh fuck! I think I should have answered that. I thought that Rintaro was gonna answer that phone call like automatically, you know, because it's a visual novel. But I forgot about the interactivity part of it. The fact that I got the fact that I got to that achievement definitely tells me that I should have interacted with the phone. Damn it. Well, I guess we're going in the bad ending here, folks. I think Daro is gonna die.
お前は覚えていないかもしれないが、俺はさっき D メールで過去を変えた。
Kurisu stares at me. Her expression is more stern than usual.
私はあんたの言葉が冗談なのか本気なのか見極められるほど付き合いが長くない。
だが事実だ。そして俺以外のすべての人間がそのことを忘れた。いや、正確に言うならその事実が消滅した。
過去を変えたから現在も変わったって？バタフライ効果ね。
でもあんたの言ってることはデタラメ。
I mean, I guess in that sense it kind of makes sense that the demo just disappeared afterwards. But still.
なぜそう言い切る？
なんで岡部は過去を変えたことを覚えてるの？タイムマシンで物理的に過去へ行って歴史を変えてきたというのならまだギリギリ説明がつく。でも D メールの場合だとあんたは現在から一歩も動いていないことになるのよ。だから現在が変わって私たちが変化したならあんたも変化していないと矛盾が生まれる。それとも自分は観測者だから変化しないとでも言うつもり？その場合あんたはこう主張していることになる。自分は人間という存在ではないって。
I understand what Kurisu is saying, and I don't have the means to convince her otherwise. And that's exactly why I'm trying to get in touch with Tyler.
すべてはシュタインズゲートの選択であり、この俺の持つ魔眼、リーディングシュタイナーの力によるものだ。
また始まった。
Kurisu sighs and goes back to her book.
あんたのお遊びには付き合ってられないわ。どうせそのリーディングなんたらってたった今命名したんでしょ。
は
I should have known better than to approach Kurisu unprepared. There's still not enough information, even for a mad scientist like me, to explain the things I've experienced. I bite my lip in frustration.
恋する乙女が好きな相手からのメールを待ってるみたい。
Duh. She sure likes to attack me for every little thing.
そんなに構ってほしいのか？
Yeah. I mean, we are waiting for John Tyler to reply and all that. Which, again, I was questioning about it. What if it's Kurisu? What if it's a different Rintaro? Which, I guess, not any thinking about it, if time traveling is based on the consciousness being sent to a completely different Rintaro in a different timeline, like if that's how time traveling works, then I don't think it's possible for two Rintaros to exist at the same time in like one timeline. So I guess in that sense that kind of throws the theory out the window that it's a completely different Rintaro, I think. Unless we're talking about a Rintaro from a completely different timeline from the future, an older Rintaro who is talking as John Tyler in a completely different timeline, our timeline right over here, and is using like the phone wave constantly to post messages on ad channel and talk to us like on the phone. But I think that's a little bit much. I don't think that's actually possible for something like that to happen. So no. If John Tyler is to be somebody, it would have to be somebody unique in this timeline. So I'm thinking it's Kurisu. I guess we shall see soon enough. Will John Tyler answer our call / email right over here while you are here, Kurisu? I wonder. And I'm keeping my eye on you, Kurisu. I'm keeping my eye on you.
ささやかな復讐よ。あんたからのひどい扱いにいつもぐっと耐えてるんだから、それぐらい許せ。
これでも俺はお前をリスペクトしているつもりだぞ。
名前すらまともに呼んだこともないくせによく言う。
それについてはすまないと思っている。
Kurisu lifts her face and stares at me in shock.
へえ、意外。あんたって謝るんだ。
謝るさ。だがどうしようもないのだ。俺の脳はお前のことを助手のクリスティーナ という認識で固定してしまっていて、直しようがないからな。ふぅ
回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺してやりたい。
Oh, that's so frightening. Hold on. I'm scared out of my pants as I'm reading this. A major part of the brain. The hippocampus governs memory and spatial navigation. Yep. So, right after that silly exchange, John Tyler's mail arrives. Right? Ah. Okay. Greetings, Kyoma. Can you tell me exactly how you changed the past? I'd like to verify that what you said is true. Hold on a second. Right after that silly exchange. Alright. I don't think it was possible for Kurisu to send that mail herself, so you escaped my grasp. I don't think that you, Kurisu, are John Tyler. So, who is John Tyler in that case? Okay. What in the fuck what did you just write here? We sent an email today. It was set to arrive last Tuesday, 170 hours ago. It contained the winning numbers for the third place prize of for that night's Lotto 6 draw. The moment we sent the email, my associates, who had helped plan the experiment and watched me send it, instantly forgot that any of that had happened. When I checked, I found that the email had vanished from my phone's send history. I know for a fact that it arrived in the past, as my friend bought a Lotto 6 ticket kit based on information I had apparently given him. He got one of the numbers wrong, but otherwise it was an exact match. My god, it's so difficult to reading the stuff.
メールの相手って誰？
Like, I don't remember. Was it like that in the the early 2000s with flip phones and all that? Was that how text was formatted? I doubt it. I doubt that the text. I think like the text was a lot smaller, therefore, to a point where you would be able to like format the words without splitting the words just like that. On this, however, I guess they are big because you have to read it. Like hell, it's in probably. It's a little bit the smaller size than the normal text on the text box, but it's still big enough for us to read. Otherwise, it would have to be pretty damn small on the screen, and we wouldn't be able to read it. So they increased the size of the text on the flip phone like this, with the disadvantage being that some words are going to be split like that, which makes it very, very difficult for me to read.
John Tyler.
嘘。
奴はよほど悪意のある人間以外に対してはオープンだ。メルアドも公開している。こうしてやり取りするのは2度目だ。
Unless, I wonder if it's Suzuha. Actually, have I thought about that possibility? I probably have, and I forgot. In which case, Suzuha may be John Tyler. She is very sus.
どうりであんたがタイタンの書き込みを引用したがるわけだ。信者ってわけね。
そういうわけではない。だが奴の話にはうなずける点も多い。
そう？フィクションにしか思えないけど。
That's very interesting. From the events you described, it sounds like you did indeed change the past. I suspect that email you sent changed Divergence, if only a little. Bravo! The instant your email arrived in the past, you shifted from your original Worldline to an ever so slightly different Worldline. On this Worldline, you received an email from the future containing the Lotto 6 numbers. You told your friend the numbers, perhaps because you didn't quite trust the email. But your friend got a number wrong when he purchased the ticket. The original email likely to disappear from your send history when the world line changed. Okay. All of this makes sense. But in that case, how come like the other emails that we sent during experimenting like didn't get erased? Like, that's the question. Like, what makes one email different from another? Is it the level of chaos slash like level of divergence? If it's too low of a divergence, nothing really happens, and then if it's too big of a divergence, like we get sent to a different roll line. The one thing I don't understand is how you kept your memories of the previous roll line. Yeah, that's one thing. Just so we're clear, you are telling the truth, yes? Okay, let me read this as easy. Yes, I still have my memories from before the past was changed. That's the truth. By the way, this is actually the second time this has happened. You traveled 26 years into your past. Haven't you experienced something similar? Also, what effect do you think my intentional manipulation of the timeline might have? Well, actually, now that I think about it, that actually makes sense, because this John Tyler shifted into this roll line from a different roll line of the future. So they are able to like talk to us like this. I confirmed that the divergence is currently 0.571015%. I cannot tell what the value was before you changed the past. This is because I, like your friends, have no memories of the world line before you change the past. In the case of physical time travel, memories are retained even if the world line changes. In the case of physical time travel, memories are retained even if the world line changes. That's been proven by my own experience. But in the case of an email like the one you sent, the time traveler changes the past without actually time traveling through time. A situation that scientists in my time never even considered. It wasn't even necessary, since the invention of the time machine in 2034 gave us a means of physical time travel. So I'm afraid that I have no idea how to explain the phenomenon you've been experiencing. Okay, well let's talk about this like one at a time. This number right over here, this divergence of 0.571015, I've seen it. Granted, I looked at it again in like editing wise and all that. We noticed like some numbers pop up when we went into a different roll line. Before it was 0571024, and now it's 15 at the end. Would Rintaro have memory of that? Would he notice such a number? Second, in the case of this is because it was before you. This is because I have no memories of the world line before you change the past. In the case of physical time travel, memories are retained even if the world line changes. Yeah, because Rintaro himself is an example of that, and also John Tyler is an example of that because he has time traveled and retained his memories. That's been proven by my own experience, but in the case of an email like the one you sent, the time traveler changes the past without actually traveling through time. Yeah, because sending yourself in the past, I guess it makes sense that you would retain memories. But when you send like a email that could change the past, your past, I guess that would be a case where memories of everybody would be altered. Except even in this case, Rintaro's memories were not sent. No, in which case, this isn't the case of only the email being sent, and thus Rintaro was sent in a different roll line. The email was sent alongside Rintaro in the past in a different roll line. It's not the gravity of the email that sent Rintaro in a different roll line. Somehow he got sent in a different roll line as well. I don't think it's just the email. I think it's also Rintaro himself that he got sent in a different roll line, which, that's what actually happened. But I think it's there is a difference between the two, and I cannot put my finger on it. How exactly do you measure divergence? Where do those numbers come from? strictly speaking, I was not being entirely accurate when I wrote the Everett Wheeler model. Wait, what? I was not being entirely accurate when I wrote that the Everett Wheeler model is accepted in my time. The first functional time machine was completed in 2034. In the 2 years following that breakthrough, our understanding of the universe's structure grew dramatically. In 2036, scientists proved that the universe is comprised of attractor fields, which describe the extent of Worldline convergence. This theory was first proposed in 2020. Attractor fields describe the extent of Worldline convergence. What the fuck is that? Oh, another one. Sorry, I forgot to answer your question. I have a meter that measures divergence. A reading of 0 divergence corresponds to the Worldline I originally came from. In other words, it's a subjective, not absolute measurement. This tool can only indicate the current divergence. Okay, so yeah, okay, so it's subjective. And the subjective measurement means that it's more of a difference from the previous. It's not necessarily like an absolute. Like right now, if we were to go in a completely different world line with that same number, 0.75 whatever, with the 15 at the end, if we are to do that kind of divergence, it would go into a completely different world line. It's not necessarily that we are sticking to this world line. It's not necessarily that each world line corresponds with like a number of that caliber. It's a difference measurement. Please explain these attractor fields. How do they affect world lines? Put simply, attractor fields are the focal points of world line convergence. Their existence is responsible for phenomena previously known as fate and chance. There's no real point making small changes to a world line. Due to convergence, small changes do not have a lasting influence. Humans who can observe convergence are extremely rare. I haven't met anyone with that ability myself, so I'm unqualified to give you an accurate appraisal, but you, Kyo, might be one such individual. You might have the power to observe convergence. You might be the one who can guide us to a world line beyond 1% divergence. 1%. Across the wall that divides attractor fields. Beyond 1%? Well, what does that mean? The tone of Tyler's mail has suddenly changed. He thinks I have some kind of power? First, I feel a sense of pride. Next comes apprehension. Could this be a trap? In the first place, I can't confirm if this is the real John Tyler. And I don't even know if the John Tyler from 2000 was real time travel. If Tyler's Worldline theory holds, then that could explain the supernatural events I've experienced. But this last statement is pretty hard to swallow. As soon as I begin to doubt, all his words start to smell like lies. That stuff about the IBM 5100 might have been a lie too. That mysterious program code could just be a simple bug. Now that he claims I have super special powers, he's starting to sound like some new age con artist. And besides, I don't need Tyler to tell me that. I'm awesome either way. Karisu jerks at the sound of my laughter.
いきなり笑い出すのよ、気色悪い。
これが笑わずにいられるか。実に傑作ではないか。この俺が持つ力だと。今さらそんなこと言われなくとも、俺はとっくに気づいていたぞ。ジョン・タイター。
I snap my eyes open wide. I raise my phone high to the heavens.
この魔眼。 リーディングシュタイナーの真の力にな。
話の流れはさっぱり見えんが、岡部次長しろとだけ言っておく。
You think?
あ、
Kurisu hides her face in her book. Ah, yeah, that's right. Gotta keep in mind that Chinibyo is a very otaku term. we take it for granted because we are reading a visual novel right over here, entirely like Eastern Japanese and all that. So when I say Chinibyo, it's like a personality type. But from Kurisu's perspective, it's a term that otaku use. Therefore, it makes us think of Kurisu as an otaku even more. That's why she gets embarrassed. She pretends to read, but I can see from here that her ears are bright red. How does she know about Chinibyo? Is she an ad channeler after all? No, that doesn't matter now. We'll make fun of you later for that. I need to reply to Tyler. What is beyond the wall? What would happen when we cross it? Yeah, also, like, yeah, clearly that number doesn't signify like the percentage of changes in the roll line, because otherwise it would be a lot smaller than that. It would be 0.0000000 something. So in that sense, I also have to ask, in this case, what does it mean? And another important question, what does it mean to go beyond 1%? Like, what is that? Okay. If we cross the wall, we will have freedom. If we do not, then the dystopia I came from will be your future. In exchange for providing false peace and joy, your masters will stamp out every last vestige of free will. As I said on that channel, my goal is to change that future. And you may be the one who can make that possible. Actually, you know what? Let's think about this. I don't know what the fuck it means to go beyond 1%, but I think that would be the goal of this guy. In order for the future to not fall into this dystopia that he has been talking about on Ad Channel, he wants this divergence to go towards 1%, like beyond. So, would it mean that if Rintaro by chance would change from one roll line to another that goes beyond 1%, would that mean that we fix this dystopia thing? Which, I don't even know if... Because if we were to think about the many worlds interpretation and all that... Yeah, we only... Like, if we were to go into a road line with like a past 1%, divergence, that would mean that, okay, the dystopia was no longer going to happen in that road line, fine. But what about your road line, John Tyler? Your road line will still have like that dystopia. Unless you're saying that something magical would happen where if somebody would go past 1% even once, like Rintaro right over here, every single road line imaginable will no longer have a dystopia. That would be freaking awesome. That would be cool. Like, how the fuck would that even happen? Would it even, like, that would mean that we would have to, that our actions somehow, if we were to go past 1%, we would change every imaginable infinite number of roll lines to no longer have a dystopia. That's quite powerful. That's godly.